is a Bramble Jam podcast. Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Marvel Christmas movies.
There it is. You took my thing.
There it is. I'm Ryan, and I like Marvel Christmas movies.
I'm Dan, and I also love Marvel Christmas movies, and this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
I like when you do the love, Dan, and you don't tell the person ahead of time, so it makes the person
it makes
who said
them look like they are not with
Yeah.
it. Like they're not really passionate about the subject matter. It's a perfect. I've always got that in the chamber. You know, if I want to make somebody look bad,
That's true.
Thanks, bud.
Hey, Rye guy, how's it going?
What could Iron Man 3 have done different for you? You know, we'll get to it.
Well, honestly, I am a little stressed about the hot take now, but we'll get there when we get there.
All right, we will. Hi, Rye.
Hi, what do you want to know?
Well, I do you have any pre-planned things you'd like to discuss?
No,
it's
he
always
never
off-
brings pre-planned things.
It's always off the cuff.
It's organic.
It is. However, as I look to my left here, we could do a little, not unboxing, but a haul review if you'd like.
I'd love to do a haul review. We haven't done one of
All
those
right.
in a while. This is stuff that you've bought off eBay exclusively, or
Buy it. Amazon. A few Amazons. I want to preface this though for anyone listening, especially one person that January and February. We're into March now, right? We're
Of
in March.
course.
yes,
Yeah. I have crushed it financially this year. Absolutely.
Oh boy, I wonder who you're talking to.
Absolutely crushed it.
You've been working for 1 week. What are you talking about?
my-
You've been crushing it.
No, that's not what I mean. Although that helps. My credit card bill in the month of January was the lowest it's been since I was 20 something years old.
Wow.
Like, I mean, like
Wow.
we are talking we're talking triple digits.
Holy
and
cow.
We're talking significantly lower than even my
But-
lowest
but-
triple digit.
Well, and I don't want to get into the weeds here because I'm proud of you.
Kudos to you, right, guy.
Kudos,
Thank you,
absolutely.
man.
what
I'm not messing around.
What you're about to say is going to absolutely undercut it.
No,
but
no,
at
no, no,
this
no,
point,
no,
I'm very
wow.
proud of you.
Thank you. I
But-
want Brand to finish this thought, but this is a small haul, but go ahead.
I'm not saying that what
They
you're.
called me in high school, the small haul.
Small haul.
I'm not saying what you've accomplished so
Ryan, the
far
Small haul Popola.
with your credit card is not impressive. Rye guy, very proud of you. But
Thank you.
how much of it was out of necessity and perhaps fear as you were approaching? I mean, we don't need to get in the weeds here, but for the start the year, you were unemployed and
Sure. Well,
you're
What do you
you're
mean? Is that wrong?
Well, I mean, I guess by the letter of the law.
Okay.
you're approaching perhaps being away from severance, and maybe
Good show on Apple. Yeah,
Great
good
show.
on Apple.
Was
Yeah.
it
Well,
was it
season
was it
one.
fear based? Was it a fear based cutback? Is all I'm asking.
No, I mean, you gotta keep in mind, we're getting married, bud. You know.
Oh, yeah, there's
Right?
that. Wedding
We're
budget.
getting married. Now,
Tori
to be fair,
Kelly's not going to pay for herself.
No, I really think we're gaining more traction than any of us could have imagined on that. Still waiting to hear back, but that doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean she has.
We gained a lot of traction. Haven't heard from her,
Yeah.
but the traction, we
Yeah.
had chains on those tires.
Yeah, amen, brother. Listen. There's Alyssa and I also have a shared credit card, so it's not a one for one.
Gosh,
Like,
these
so
two.
I'm just saying that, like, you know, but all things considered, Brand, to your point, sure, I'm being more mindful, but I also just think, hey guys, I'm about to be 36 years old. Like, this boyish charm thing can't last me for right. What 10 years tops left on this?
You think
But
you think you can get away with boyish charm at 46?
I mean, really, when do we think I'm going to start to like look older? It's about.
That's
well,
a
no, I
great
do think
question.
you've got a genetic component. Italian, you can. I think you can hold on to the youth, the looking young. I think for a while. I mean, I think
a stallion.
haircut still looks
a stallion.
fresh. The what?
This Italian alien.
Italian alien. You know, Rocky Balboa, the Italian alien.
Remember the famous.
Okay,
the
so
famous
let's do the
boxer.
haul. Little haul.
All right,
here.
now I want to preface
Scott
now.
Hall.
Listen, I'll be transparent and tell you prices on these things. Now, this first one though doesn't count. I bought this pre-January 1.
What are we doing?
doesn't
It
count.
arrived in the mail recently, but I bought it pre-January 1, so
Okay.
it doesn't count
It
towards.
took a long time to get there.
Well, it's going to make sense when you see it. Brand, I don't know if I mention this to you or not. I know I was talking to somebody about it. Dan, you're gonna hate this brand. You're gonna love it.
Great.
It's a
Oh my
the
god.
Mentor
Oh my God.
Sinbad Jingle All the Way T-shirt.
Uh,
It says "Ta Turtle Man" over there.
Turtle Man.
It's just for anyone just listening to the pod. It's
Brian,
just
come see this shirt. You're gonna love this shirt.
it's like I couldn't not get this.
you 100% could have not gotten it.
Like,
Little
I mean,
Turtle Man.
But like it's for
From Jingle
anyone
All the
just
Way. You don't love this?
for anyone just
Get
listening.
out of here, Brian.
Brian gets it.
Oh,
Brian
get
doesn't
out of
know-
here, box. Get out of here, box. For anyone just listening, it's just really a big.
It's a
picture of
giant
Sinbad.
picture
That's a
of Sinbad.
giant Sinbad.
I'm,
Yeah, but
it's
see,
hard
this
for me to
is
be
where
mad
the
about a
youthful-
Sinbad
the
shirt.
Youthful exuberance. I can still pull something like this off. You know, most 36-year-olds.
I would agree. I would agree with what you're
grade-
saying. Most 36-year-olds cannot pull something like that off, but you 100% can.
Thank you. That actually means. a
All
lot.
right, really? All right, you're 1 for 1.
But what did that cost you, right?
I think that was approximately $45.
Dang.
And again, that's pre-January 1.
45.
That's
Does that
Uh,
include
it's a
shipping?
T-shirt. Yeah, let's say 50 with shipping. I don't recall.
50 with shipping.
But worth it. I mean, that's a brand. You'll know. I'm going to wear that every Christmas Eve for the rest of my life.
As you
know?
should.
For the
Yeah.
rest of your life, even after you've
Yeah.
lost your boy's charm.
All right.
Well, he's not going out on Christmas
We'll
Eve.
cross
He can,
11 years from now when we get there.
Dude,
you
So,
can still wear it in the confines of your own house.
so these
past
next
46.
three are physical media. So Dan, I know your ears.
Oh,
just
I'm in.
perked up.
Yeah.
However, these will
What
primarily.
was
What was that from?
That's a WWE Hall of Famer Howard Finkel.
Of course, yes. However,
Yeah, may he rest. A good friend of mine.
may you rest in peace, dear God. I didn't-
But so these are primarily going to be used as wall art. Okay.
okay. But it's physical media.
he could pop it into the old physical player if you want.
Now this one also doesn't count because I've owned it for years.
It
But Brain,
doesn't
you're going to
ca-
like this.
When does it start counting?
I love
And
that.
next, yeah, this is Nick
All
Games
right.
and Sports Gas for short. So this is going to be part of the Nick wall display. There's a slither off camera that's going to get a lot of Nickelodeon.
So what is
love.
this? Just a few episodes of Gods, a few episodes
You
of.
have to figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, but primarily we like it because it's all the logos.
we
easy to
like it
display.
because
We
it's all
like
the
it.
logos.
That's why we
All right.
like it.
Next
Yeah.
up, I think Dan, you're not even going to know what this is, and Brain, you're probably going to think I'm nuts. But we got for $6 off.
Now
the
this is where it
electronic-
starts counting.
This is where it starts
Okay.
counting.
All right.
So we're
$6.
six in. Write
Here we
this
go.
down.
I got it.
Yep.
I can keep
It's
that.
Rugrats All Grown Up Volume 1.
I know what
but-
Rugrats are.
You know
Right.
Rugrats All Grown Up.
I do not.
Yeah, they did a show where they were teenagers.
It's a trash
for
show.
couple-
It shouldn't. You shouldn't buy this.
$6.
I've been rewatching really good stuff. Really good stuff.
What's that theme
so-
song?
All grown up, I really want to shout it out. It's
All
really good.
grown up.
Grown up with you.
Yeah,
And then-
it's a banger.
It's a real slapper. And then Steelbook. Good burger on Steelbook.
All right, that's pretty good.
$12. I had an Amazon gift card, so it's a little skewed, but $12. So all of these are going on the wall. How are we feeling so far?
I mean, like you've spent, and not including gift cards, you spent under $30 so far.
Well, I'm well
count.
under $30. Yes.
Yeah, this is fine. All of this is fine. I mean, it's not normal, but for you, I think it's fine. I think it's
Thank
a fine haul so far.
Only two more.
Dos
you guys
más.
aren't gonna care about this, so we can yada yada through it. Original Power Rangers ad promoting Serpentera. This is going.
You didn't pay money for this. Maybe the frame. You didn't pay money for the.
No, I would have preferred to not have the frame, but it was safer to ship. $35 for this. 35.
It's an advertisement.
Very rare.
It
Very
isn't.
rare.
It isn't. It just nobody cares.
Yeah, I don't like when you do this, Dan. Who are you to tell me
that's
how
true.
rare a Power Rangers
listen,
advertisement
You're
from
you're
1995
100% right. I don't know if it's rare or not. but
Thanks for
it's-
calling him out
But
on
it's
that. I
an
appreciate that.
advertisement. Yes.
Yeah.
Are people champing at the bit to get their hands on these, or is it just rare because it's an ad and people don't have them anymore?
Well, it doesn't matter how it's rare.
Probably a little bit of combo of A and B, but like
a little
there
bit
was
of
no
combo of
listen,
A and
Who
B.
cares why it's rare?
No, I think that's very important.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Rarity is.
Cool. And $30, you're cool with that.
So
I didn't
35.
say that.
yeah.
35.
Now,
I got
also
you.
keep in mind this will pair with. Remember when I was at that convention and I tried to haggle the guy?
I remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This will pair with that, like so. That's part of that display. So you can't really put a price on how petty I was.
And how
that
much
day,
did you end
so.
up getting that helmet
80?
for?
That guy
60?
was trying to sell it to me for 80, and I got it for $50.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, you
So
showed
you're, I
him.
mean, you're
So
on
honestly,
Macari.
I paid $5 if you think about it. If you add those two up.
Yeah, that's one, dude. I love this math. I love what we're doing here. This is great.
Oh, got one more now. Last one.
Yeah.
This came in the mail yesterday. Brand, I know we're running along.
And everybody remember, his credit card bill in January was great.
It was it genuinely really was.
Best
I
of the
don't feel
best.
I don't want to, kiss and tell on what the actual total was, but it was low. All right. Here,
That's a plastic
That's
bag.
a plastic bag.
Plastic bag. Space Jam, as we all know, stars the Looney Tunes.
Featuring the
You
Looney
couldn't-
Tunes. Yeah.
You couldn't have done it without the Monstars.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool. That's a little basketball hoop that you would,
You
used
hang
to
on your
hang
door.
on your door, right?
Yeah.
Hanging it. It's going to be a wall display piece. Yeah.
And it's got the Monstars on it with the
made by
Spalding
Spalding.
logo.
Really good shape. I needed
know,
a small net.
No, it looks like no fading, no chipping at all on
No,
that.
there's if you really squint as close as I am, you can see a little deficiencies in it, but it's okay.
You know what? Who is that not true about though?
You
Yeah,
said
I
it,
mean,
man.
amen. I mean, that was actually really beautiful, Brent.
Thank you.
50. I think this was 50 and change.
50 and change.
That
Yeah,
does
'cause
seem
this
like a
is
lot for me.
a vintage piece.
Okay.
It's a
I-
vintage piece.
I couldn't find another
Have we
one.
decided words don't matter?
I couldn't
Vintage.
I couldn't find another one. If you look here on the back, really, that's bolted in. Like this
Yeah.
isn't like
that's not
Yeah.
good
this
anyway.
this isn't your grandmother's plastic. If you know
It's
what I'm
vintage,
saying.
though.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Yep. And so, I mean, I think I have done really well.
Yeah.
Um,
You should be
I've
proud
also,
of yourself.
I've created a bank account just for dumb purchases, which I think has helped me big time.
Well, how do you decide what money you're putting in the dumb purchases account?
It's just kind of like, you
How the
lick your
spirit
finger and
leads.
put it to the
Yeah.
air, yeah.
But what's stopping you from seeing something you really want and
And
putting
putting
that
the money
amount
in
of
the
money
junk
into the
account.
junk account?
Nothing.
Nothing, but I mean, I'm a man of valor and honor, but
Yeah, of course.
but once I run out of money in that account, then I just won't make any more dumb purchases.
This is basically gambling.
I haven't done a lot of that either.
You don't think that you maybe should bring like Alyssa into the process?
I've told her about this.
Yeah, but maybe she should be like, I don't know, maybe she like needs to put like maybe there's like a passcode. Like I don't know. I'm just trying to protect you from you.
But I've done so well.
I know, but it's all the
You can quit anytime you
You
want.
can quit anytime you want to. All I'm saying is there's one like pristine.
I go out of my way to share a part of myself.
I
with
know,
you on
I'm
the
not-
My
podcast.
God, no.
Right,
Listen,
guy, I'm being honest here.
Your
What-
behind your shoulders is crammed with memorabilia. Like if you're not watching on YouTube, you can't even fit it all in the screen. They're shoulder to shoulder. They're ass to elbows back there, right, guy? They got no room. They got no room to
that
breathe.
last one was
You
unnecessary.
didn't have to say elbows. We try to not use language. But I preface this whole thing by telling you that I have had I'm not even here to talk about February, which I can't recall offhand at the moment because we're in March, but I think it was just as good.
Well,
Wow.
and I want but what I'm saying is I want that to continue if that's something that you want to continue. So I'm just spitballing.
It just sounds like you don't have a lot of faith in me.
I don't, Ryan. You've given me no reason to think that there's
what have you done or said regarding collective?
What have I done?
What have you done and said regarding collectibles that would give Bran any faith that
you
you're
can keep this going?
This is the problem because I could have just come on here and it could have been a fun pre-show chatter for me to be like, I've had a really good couple months of spending. Instead, I go the extra mile.
That's
I
right.
say, hey, I've had a really good couple months in spending, and here's some fun things for us to all kind of have a hearty har,
Yeah.
and now it's a lecture.
Now it's
No,
a-
it's not a lecture.
I
love you.
May
No,
2nd
I
at the
love-
Cinema Lagoon.
Okay, listen.
And everywhere else in July.
Right.
Right.
If you
Something
don't,
like
if
this.
you
Keep
don't
being
want
you, man.
me, if you don't want me to be remotely invested and or concerned about future spending habits based off of past spending habits, then I won't.
Fine.
I won't.
I don't know what you need more than a 60-day sample size to go after in the corner.
More than fair.
right. Your $50 Sinbad shirt's amazing.
Thank you. I mean, that thing is sick. Yeah.
That's gonna last you a lifetime.
I mean, pretty good quality.
Great
I
quality.
want to shout out the bootlegger on Instagram who made it, but I don't
Are you
remember his
worried? Oh, it was just this isn't a vintage or collective item. You just liked it. Are you worried when you have shirts? I've seen you. You have a lot of great outfits
You
that
have
are
shirts.
vintage.
That's true.
Are you worried about how they're laundered or how many times you wash them?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, certainly. But I by and large, really good question, Dan.
I really do want to know. This is not a bit.
No. And yeah, the people that I buy off Instagram have proven track records of quality. If you just start like finding willy-nilly designs on like eBay or Etsy, I think that's where you need to be a little more cautious. But the people I'm paying off Instagram have, at this point, I've bought enough stuff from that and I've worn enough times that I'm not concerned.
So you're not worried, like when you wash like a shirt that's like, a collector's item shirt that you wore.
Oh, vintage stuff is a little different.
You wash it normally, just on warm, cold, whatever.
Yeah,
you don't
I think
do
I
delicates
just,
or anything.
I just let go and let God in that case.
I love it. I love it.
That's beautiful.
Amen. Yeah.
All right, let's talk Iron Man 3.
Sure.
This is a long synopsis, so I'm glad we did this.
That was probably a good thing to
This
start
is a good
with
time to do 15 minutes. To type 15.
All right, it originally came out on April 14th, 2013 at the Grand Rex. And then almost a month later, May 3rd, 2013.
Nice.
And it went a little something like this. We're back in 1999 in Switzerland on New Year's Eve. Tony Stark is hanging out with a scientist named Maya, who is showing him some new experimental tech that she's calling Extremis. And it is supposed to, her dream is, what if this like healed the human body? But we're going to start with plants. There's a problem though, the plants explode. Can't do that in a body.
No.
Also at the party, Tony gets approached by Aldrich Killian, who awkwardly pitches him joining his company, Advanced Idea Mechanics, also known as AIM, also known as AOL Instant Messenger. And Tony blows him off in the most Tony Stark way possible. Hey, go to the roof, I'll be there later, but then never showing up because he's too busy with Maya. Cut to present day, and Tony's not doing great. Ever since the alien invasion in New York, you remember that one from last week? He's been having non-stop panic attacks. He barely sleeps. He keeps building new Iron Man suits to stay busy. And it's putting quite the strain on his relationship with Pepper Potts, especially when he accidentally calls one of his suits in his sleep, and it comes and is like hovering down on top of her. So not a great night for them. One day, Killian shows up to the Stark Industries building to pitch Pepper Potts on AOL Messenger's tech. And she is impressed by this, but can tell that this seems like it has all of the signals that this is going to be used as a weapon. Not interested.
Are you okay? I know this is very emotional for you.
Are you all right, bud?
I know it's sometimes you get weird. We were working on earlier in show prep. And you got a little. You
want me to pick it up?
No.
Are you all right?
She turns him down. Happy overhears this meeting and gets bad vibes from Killian and decides that he's going to start following him. He ends up tracking down one of his associates, Eric Savin, in a crowded market, watches him hand this briefcase to a military vet. Thank you for your service. Inside of is like weird glowing capsules that look like drugs or something. Happy confronts the dude. Things get physical. There's hands are flying, fists even. It ends horribly though because Savin is basically a human weapon and he sends Happy flying. And then there's a massive explosion. Happy is left quite injured and in the hospital. While all this is going on, there's a terrorist organization called the Mandarin who is taking credit for a lot of blasts that have been happening, including the blast that Happy was injured in. And so Tony Stark's very mad about this, and he goes on live TV and he calls out the Mandarin and, in a wild decision, gives them his home address. So it backfires immediately. They're going to attack his house. But before the attack, Maya, from the beginning of the movie, 1999, shows up to try to warn Tony about something, but she doesn't get the chance because helicopters are rolling in. There's missiles and whatnot flying at his house. Pepper barely survives. Tony escapes in his new one of his new suits, which runs out of power mid-flight, crash lands into the last location that he was looking into, which is rural Tennessee, naturally, because they also had an explosion very similar to the one that Happy was hurt in. The world now assumes that Iron Man's dead because his suit is nowhere to be found. Stranded with a half-working suit, Tony meets up with a smart kiddo named Harley, who helps him basically regroup and learn some life lessons.
Amen.
Together, they investigate the site of the nearby explosion that happened, and Tony starts to notice a pattern that all of the victims are military vets connected in some way to AIM. After hacking the AIM system, Tony learns that the bombings aren't terrorist attacks at all. They are caused by a failed Extremis experiments. Some bodies don't handle it well. They end up exploding, and then Killian has decided we're going to cover this up by creating a terrorist organization who will take credit for it, but the terrorist organization doesn't actually exist. Eric Savin tracks Tony Stark down, attacks him, and that shows Tony just how powerful this guy is because he's serious. He followed the trail to Miami, and Tony storms into the Mandarin hideouts using homemade weapons because he doesn't have a working suit. Only to discover that the Mandarin isn't a mastermind terrorist at all. It's just this British actor named Trevor who's just hired to play a role of bad guy in videos. Doesn't actually have anything to do with this. Killian shows up, though, and kidnaps Pepper, injects her with Extremis, planning to use her as leverage to force Tony to perfect his tech to stop the exploding situation. When Maya's like, hey, you should let her go, he just shoots Maya, and that's it for her, and that's a tough day. Killian also lures in Rhodey. You guys remember Rhodey? He's now been rebranded as the Iron Patriot, and he is lured into a trap. They steal his armor. They use it to kidnap the president right off of Air Force One, once again blaming the Mandarin. Tony manages to remotely to come in and save passengers that are falling, but cannot save the president from being taken. The plan now: kill the president live on TV and then install the vice president, who Killian has been giving Extremis to help his daughter or granddaughter, then using the vice president basically as a puppet. That's the plan here, but not if Tony and Rhodey have anything to do with it. They're going to team up. Rhodey is going to rescue the president, while Tony is going to rescue Pepper. Tony calls in all of his Iron Man suits that he's been working on, and they basically swarm the platform. It becomes an all-out battle. Pepper survives the Extremis. It turns out to make her incredibly powerful, but during the fight, she ends up falling to flames. Oh no, she's dead.
Oh no, she's dead.
Tony then gets in a big old fight with Killian, traps him in a suit that self-destructs, but it does not kill him. And since the explosion didn't kill Killian, maybe the explosion didn't kill Pepper. Oh my God, Pepper's alive! Extremis healed her body and gave her super strength, and it allows them all to kill Killian once and for all. And after the fight, Tony has Jarvis destroy all of the Iron Man suits. Pepper's Extremis is stabilized, and Tony finally has that shrapnel removed from his chest, but he'll always be Iron Man. And that, my friends, was
Iron Man 3. We did it.
ASL.
Let's take a break. 34? I'm 34? 34.
Male.
Greenville, South Carolina.
Orlando, Florida.
There you go.
We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to break this movie down here on Deck the Hallmark. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about Iron Man 3 today. It's time for us to share our thoughts on this movie. We're not going to hold back. And I'm going to start with you, Rye Guy. Rye, you kind of alluded to, but just based off of how you heard us say we love it.
You're a little worried about the hot take.
Now's your chance to conquer your fear. What did you think about Iron Man 3?
All right, so I've only seen this once, and I didn't see it in theaters. I didn't see it in theaters because probably because a lot of people told me it was really bad. The one time I watched it, I remember thinking it was pretty bad, but that was years ago. And so upon this rewatch, I still think it's pretty bad. It wasn't for me. A lot of the movie, especially the first 15, 20, 25 minutes are like intentionally bizarre. I think the movie wants us to feel as off kilter as Tony feels, but it just never quite works for me, but mileage may vary on that. I would say I always have an issue with films like this, that for me, it's always a bit of an uphill climb when you're 3 in this case, or more so movies into a franchise. And it's like, all right, we've done a lot of lore and a lot of backstory, but here we're going to open with this very specific thing from 20 years ago with a bunch of characters you never knew. And that's what this movie is about. It's not to say that can never be successful. I just didn't think it was successful here. And I always find that a bit of a challenge. This is the last Iron Man movie they ever make. We'll see Tony Stark. We'll see Iron Man many, many more times. And maybe when they made Iron Man 3, I'll wait for Dan's
He had
MCU
not renewed his contract yet for anything aside from the Avengers sequel. I think that was it.
So I'm sure they probably thought they would make another Iron Man movie. And by the way, in some form or fashion, we will get another Iron Man movie at some point in our lives. But for Iron Man 1, which we all love, all still have number 1 on our rankings. Iron Man 2, which I think exceeded expectations for all of us, even though we admit it was flawed. It's just kind of crazy that out of all the things, all the comic book lore they could have gone with for Iron Man 3, this is what they landed on. With that said, the Mandarin, Trevor's awesome. We'll see him more throughout the years. He only gets better. And I liked that stuff a lot more this time. And the final act is still fun, even if it's just kind of a bunch of empty Iron Man suits kind of banging into each other. It's the worst thing I can say about this movie, Bran, is that although not nearly as bad, nowhere near as bad as Green Lantern or some of these other early, late 2000, 2008 through 2012 superhero movies not related to the Dark Knight trilogy or the MCU. Nowhere near as bad as those, but at times for me, it kind of more felt in the vein of those than it did in the MCU proper. So last on my list by a mile. I'll be okay if I never watch it again.
By a mile?
By a mile.
Yeah. Yeah.
That much worse than the Incredible Hulk for you?
Well, I have Captain America: First Avenger next to last.
Dear God Almighty!
Yeah, you don't remember that. You keep forgetting it.
I try to.
So I did not know, Rye Guy, that the people didn't like Iron Man 3. I don't know what most people think.
It's pretty. It's not as bad as Thor: Dark World, but it's pretty.
Really? The split on Iron Man 3 was the folks that like these movies for the comic book lore or the comic book connective tissue between the movies. Had a huge problem with Iron Man 3 because it was flippant, it was a snarky movie, and it also made a joke of the Mandarin, a very beloved villain of comic book nerds everywhere. That is typically why people thought it was bad.
Right. One last thing, Brian, before I forget, and I'm sure you'll probably mention this. Iron Man 3 as a last action hero, John Cena, Lil B type movie, which is what they're going for at times, sounds awesome. I just, the kid was in it far less than I even remember upon this rewatch. And I didn't think they stuck that landing either. But I would have loved Last Action Hero Iron Man 3. I just didn't think this movie executed.
Iron Man 3 critically actually did really well, did better than the second one. I think it's in the 80-something percentile on Rotten Tomatoes. It is it was not a pan. It was not a movie that was panned by people.
Dan's right. Marvel nerds.
Marvel nerds and people that were used to the story they were building, and the Avengers just happened. And they're geared up for more of this connective tissue that moves the big arc forward. They hated this. That's what he said.
Okay. And that's one other thing. Oh, sorry, Bran. It's this probably, I think that I might have had this as a wait what, but it's better here. We get a lot of fallout from how Tony feels about the events of the Avengers, but I think this movie could have done a better job telling us how the world reacted to the fact that aliens just appeared rather recently.
Correct.
So that's it, Brent. Go ahead.
I hear all of that. I loved this movie. One, it has Christmas in it, so there's gonna get a little boost from Brian. I am, and I have it on a glass thanks to Brian. I am an easy boy, but I loved the standalone nature of this movie. I love that it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme. It's not constantly trying to push to the next thing, which was kind of like what I loved about Iron Man 1 too. It felt like I can watch Iron Man 1 and just have a great time with this really fun and flawed character. And I felt that way in Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is a really dark movie. It's I was surprised sometimes. When Killian just shoots Maya like that, I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Oh my gosh!
I was very surprised by it. But I loved this movie. I thought that it was real. To me, like him working on all of these suits because he can't sleep and he's trying to just like run away from his problem of having panic attacks whenever he thinks about New York. And for those suits to ultimately be the thing at the end, it comes back. This movie felt cohesive to me as a movie, and I really like that. And I disagree. I thought that the stuff with the kid was great. I loved that part of the movie when he's in Tennessee and he's like learning lessons from this precocious punk kid that I think possibly reminded him a little of himself as a kid. I loved it. I loved it a lot. And so this one's a home run for me. I am wrestling with where to put it. To me, Iron Man 1 is still number 1. There's a world where I have it in front of the Avengers.
Oh my God.
As my number 2 favorite movie. I'm not there yet, but I could get there because to me, and I think what's going to decide it for me is more Avenger movies, because in my mind, all the Avenger movies are kind of the same thing. And
that would make the original Avengers better.
That's right. That's right. But I'm wrestling with what to do here. But for me,
are you using your skip?
I'm not using my skip. I'm going to put it at number 3 with the right to change it if I want to, because it's my list. But I love this movie. I had a great time with it, and I'm kind of sad that people didn't like it, because I thought it was great. Dan?
Yeah, it doesn't happen often on this program, but Brandon Gray is 100% right, full stop. Brand
was 100% right.
I got to be honest, I didn't see it coming. I thought I was going to be on an island by myself here, because the reputation of this movie it's weird. The reputation isn't what actually the truth is about how people respond to this movie. The reputation of this movie is exactly what Rye Guy said, which is people hate it. They think it's really bad. It just, that wasn't the case for the majority of people when it came out. What I love about this movie is exactly what BRAN'S said from a story perspective. I believe the only time that Marvel has successfully crafted a beginning, middle, and end of one character is the Iron Man trilogy. And I did look it up to confirm it, but Robert Downey Jr. was not signed to play Tony Stark ever again when this movie was filmed. They 100% crafted this movie from script to screen to be the end of Iron Man. That is how they crafted the movie. Now, RDJ had said and was in talks to obviously continue playing Tony Stark in the Avengers, but this was supposed to be the end of Iron Man. And I think it's kind of a perfect ending, because in these 3 movies, you get to see a guy. And the reason I think that 20 years is so important is you get reminded of what he used to be. And so you can see what he's become. And so it does this great thing, this trilogy, of showing a character that was all about himself and all about his money and all about his wit. And then he realizes that that's wrong. And then he has to wrestle with that old version of himself in Iron Man 2. And in this Iron Man, he gets to finally destroy the old version of himself. And in doing so, has to realize that it causes him great anxiety to not be in control. And I think it's amazing. The other thing I love about this movie, Shane Black, which we've not really mentioned, is the writer-director of this movie, wrote the Lethal Weapon movies, wrote and directed probably the most underrated Christmas movie of all time, also starring Robert Downey Jr., Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with Val Kilmer. If you've not seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and you like the rat-a-tat dialogue of this movie, you must. It's got Michelle Monaghan. It's got the other two. It's amazing. Have you seen it yet?
No.
Have you seen it, Rye Guy?
Not yet.
You guys are killing me. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is an amazing movie. It's a great teaming of Robert Downey Jr. and how this guy writes. I love that. I love the fact that they took comic book lore in the Mandarin and they made it like they pulled the rug out from under you. I thought that was great. Also, they have to do that because the Mandarin is who in the Marvel Comics?
Don't know.
The father of
Tony Stark.
Shang-Chi.
Oh.
And that is in the Shang-Chi movie. The 10 Rings, that's the Mandarin.
Yeah.
So this Mandarin was never, like, it was like so clearly like a Trojan horse. And I thought that was great. And so it is it's doing something that Marvel unfortunately tried to give creative license to do later, and it falls like on its face. But if you're not going to continue the serialized story in a meaningful, impactful, intimate way, like if it's just going to be like Age of Ultron, which to me is like kind of the worst big bloated version of these things. But I mean, I've not seen it since it came out. Then make a movie about the internal struggle of a superhero that doesn't actually have any superpowers, but is just trying to be a better person. That's what this movie's about. It's about a guy who spent his whole life living off of his billions of dollars, his quick wit, his egotism, and his alcoholism, all of a sudden trying to live for something or someone else that's greater than himself. And after saving the world in Avengers, dealing with the aftermath of not being in control and the anxiety of that, is great. Guy Pearce, dude should be working more. I think he's great. I love this movie. I don't struggle with it being better than the Avengers. That's where I would disagree with Brand. I think Iron Man 1, Avengers 2 is set in stone. This to me is toggling with Captain America for 3 right now. Gosh, at this very moment, I have it at 4 behind Captain America, but I could be talked into moving it up to 3. That's where I am with it.
Okay.
And then what's 2?
Avengers. Iron Man and Avengers,
Okay.
I think, are in a camp all by themselves. And then I think Incredible Hulk and Thor are down here. I think Captain America and Iron Man 3 are actually, I think Iron Man 2, Thor, and Incredible Hulk are all in kind of the same boat down at the bottom. And I think Iron Man and Avengers are at the top. And then Captain America and Iron Man 3 are in the middle. That's kind of how I would divide it up.
There you go. All right, it's time for all the feels. Right guy.
Just a quick shout out to Blue Abu Di Abu Dai.
Yes, of course.
What a slapper. And then listen, not here to get political, and I'm not here to tell you it's a better name because it's not, but that Iron Patriot suit, pretty baller. Pretty baller suit.
Yeah.
There was
that's it for me, Brett.
a long time ago where I wrote reviews, movie reviews for a nonprofit Christian website. And I wrote a review for this movie. And I don't go read it. Don't go find it. It's terrible. It's I was 22 or something. I was very young. I was probably older than that, but I was very young. And someone in the comments section I remember this very distinctly, getting very mad at how they bandied around the word patriot like it was not a big deal. And I was just like, boy, I don't know if I should be writing movie reviews for this place.
My feel, and I feel, don't take this, but this.
Don't take it, everybody. Leave it. Don't take it.
I will not receive this.
Yeah, don't do it.
The way that
just ignore him. Whatever he says right now, everybody ignore him. Ignore him.
The video packages for this terrorist organization was awesome. They were great packages. They looked really cool.
Good editing team.
Great editing team down there at the Mandarin.
Brand loves the terrorist organization.
It was really cool.
Don't ignore it.
They were really well done.
Brand, I'm looking at the returns here. A lot of people are taking that. This is bad.
No, they took it. They were supposed to ignore it.
About to do, Ryan.
They were taking it.
Dadgummit.
Yeah.
I don't like terrorists. I feel like I shouldn't have to say that, but since they're taking it, I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to put my stamp on it. I'm against it. But I'm against terrorists, and I feel okay saying that out loud.
They're not taking that.
You are, man. What a step you're taking.
They're not taking that.
They're ignoring that. They didn't take that.
Always is.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Well,
take what you get. Am I right?
And they took what they took.
You get what you give.
Dan?
Yeah, I mean, Sir Ben Kingsley, Academy Award winner Ben Kingsley is doing a bit here. He is acting like a mass murderer, and he thinks he's a British actor who believes it to be fake. What a thing to have in a $200 million picture. And they did it. And all of the trailers for this movie.
Oh, he's the guy. He's in Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
That's why they're keeping him captive, because he
correct.
used their name.
You just now put it together.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
He's even funnier in Shang-Chi, and now I believe he shows up in Wonder Man, which I haven't watched yet.
That's really funny.
But this guy is such an amazing actor.
I really like Shang-Chi, but I didn't know any of that. I was
Ben
like,
Kingsley's he's an unbelievable actor, and the trailers for this movie I think part of the reason the Marvel nerds hated it was the trailers really sold you on the fact that the Mandarin was nobody to be trifled with. The trailers to this movie were like, the Mandarin's here. He's operating at another level. And so they really did sell like perfect bait and switch. But I can't believe they went for it. I can't believe Marvel.
Like I said, that part I love.
And then this guy is just a goober. And it is such a, like, talk about dark comedy. This is like the darkest comedy that Marvel offers, and Ben Kingsley, pitch perfect, excellent.
It's time for a break, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna get to the way what a Marvel.
What a Marvel.
Deck the hallmark.
Oh, it's back.
You got to hit it whenever you're ready. Hit the button.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back.
Buttons.
We're talking about Iron Man 3 today. It's time for the way what is where we talk about what in this movie. Just go away. What? I'll start with you, Brian.
This is just something you have to accept in a post-Avengers world. Like, what's everybody else doing? Like, it's like, the Mandarin's taken over international airwaves, and Natasha, Clint, Bruce, they're not bothered at all.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say I love the individuality of this. We are straining a bit of credibility. This is going to be a problem in every Avengers movie, pretty much.
You just have to accept it.
From here forward.
It's just what it is.
Sometimes it's not big enough for all of them.
Nowhere is it more evident than Captain Marvel. Like she's the most powerful being maybe in the universe, and it's like you find out that she could help in one of the movies, and you're like, how has she not? But this is
there's a terrorist organization there's bombs going off everywhere, and it's that's not Captain America's problem.
They're just not taking that.
That's not his problem.
When Peter Parker's date to prom's dad is the Vulture or whatever, Iron Man shows up for that. Yep. But this guy's taking on an international terrorist, and they're like, well, like Tony's got it. Well, let's about it.
You just got to live with it.
Hulk's like, I just got new pants on.
Bran, you mentioned this in the synopsis, but I thought it was a pretty crafty baller move by Tony to give out his home address, because I think that most everybody already knew where he lives.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so
yeah.
He seems like a bad A doing that, but like pretty much everybody knew. So like, I thought that was very crafty. And then last one, the kid's name is Harley, right? And Harley knows who Iron Man and War Machine and the Avengers are, but has no idea who Tony Stark is. Tony Stark, arguably the most famous person alive.
That's right.
And all right, I think they're trying to say this kid doesn't, he's maybe not like, the most accessible to television because of his home situation, but he knows who Iron Man and War Machine are, but he doesn't know. I don't buy it. I don't like it. I don't accept it, Bran. I don't take it.
The biggest problem with that, I think that's the biggest what of this movie is that you made a point in Iron Man 1 of Tony Stark standing before a podium to be like, I'm Iron Man. Like, part of Iron Man's whole deal is he doesn't have a secret identity. It's a very big, bold swing. You can't have a kid that's obsessed with Iron Man not know that it's Tony Stark.
Even if he doesn't have TV or access to a newspaper or the internet, he's going to go to school, and a teacher is going to say, do you hear about Tony Stark?
I'm with you. 100%.
At one point, Jarvis reminds Iron Man that he had gluten-free waffles for breakfast. Does Tony Stark have celiacs?
I think that was just I was wrong. I wasn't 22 in this movie. I was like 29. I was wrong on that.
Was Jarvis just goofing?
But I think gluten-free was such a big craze.
Oh, okay.
Like celiacs, the poor people that have celiacs that really can't have gluten have been just caught up in a tidal wave of people that think no gluten is healthier, which it isn't. Right. And I think that this was in the heyday.
Okay. So it would make sense that Tony Stark would give that a try.
That's right. Oh, for sure. Okay. For sure. Yeah.
All right. And then when Maya shows up at his house, the TV's on, right? And she looks over at the TV as the missiles are showing up, and she's like, should we be concerned about that? This TV feed has absolutely no delay. Like, in real time, these missiles are coming, and she's like, that doesn't seem good. And where in reality, by the time she saw that, they would have exploded already. So shout out to the local news there that is doing stuff no delay whatsoever, and we can see the explosion in real time, and I think we're all better for it.
Yeah, man.
Dano,
We have an unfortunate Miss Chattanooga beauty pageant scene in this movie.
hey, what's that about?
That like reeks of something that we would have just been like, yeah, this is normal in the 1990s, and it's all in service of a Stan Lee cameo.
F cameo, right?
F cameo. Oh my, the worst cameo of any Stan Lee cameo is this weird shot of like just the torso of a woman in a bikini at the Miss Chattanooga pageant. And 2013 all of a sudden looks like 1983. It is not a good look. I don't know why it was in there. And if it was in there, why it needed to be shot the way it was shot. Tough, just tough all around there. I found it very hard to believe that Tony Stark couldn't be found in Tennessee. I found that that was a tough stretch for me, for someone that is like famously a billionaire. I don't think that they covered their tracks well enough there at all. And then the other thing was what Rye Guy said, which was like the fact that he doesn't know that Iron Man's Tony Stark is pretty crazy. But that's it.
It's time for What a Marvel. It's where we put stuff we don't know where to talk about.
You got it. Yeah.
Right guy?
I think this is another thing with the Marvel nerds, who I'm not here to speak for. I didn't even know that the Mandarin was Shang-Chi's dad in the comics, so who am I? But I don't think that this kid Harley ever gets mentioned again, and I think that really annoys the MCU nerds. They're like, well, you went out of your way to like make this whole plot device, and now he just befriends Peter Parker, and that becomes his new Harley. What the heck?
They brought back Liv Tyler, for crying out loud.
Hey, just because we haven't seen him yet doesn't mean we won't see him in the future.
That's like on the 65th Marvel movie. They're going to have Harley show up as a 50-year-old
I don't know. I feel like the momentum for this was stronger a few years ago, but there was the Junior Avengers idea. And Harley as a Junior Avenger sounds awesome. I don't know if any of that's happening now because all the Junior Avengers are now 30. But
I'm a firm believer that Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday is Iron Man from a different universe. Like, I don't know if anybody, I've not read anything about anywhere. That's the only way that makes sense to me. I can't imagine Robert Downey Jr. just playing a different character in the universe. I'm a firm believer the only way that makes sense is there's a lot of universes. We know this because of No Way Home and the Multiverse of Madness. I believe that Tony Stark in a different universe, the egotism ran wild, and instead of creating Iron Man, he creates Doctor Doom. I've not read that anywhere. That's just a personal feeling of mine.
Do you believe he created Doctor Doom and also says that because as best we know, he's playing Victor Von Doom?
Yeah, I think they've not confirmed that. I don't know. Until proven otherwise, and I've read nothing about this. I believe he's Tony Stark from a different universe because I love Robert Downey Jr. I'll see any movie he makes. I think he's a national treasure. I can't imagine them just going, what if we had him play a different guy? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And so when I heard the announcement, everything in me was like, they've said he won't be Tony Stark anymore. This is a great way to do that. That is my working belief about what's going on here. And I know that may sound off the radar, but it is. But if it is, maybe Harley's in that universe somewhere.
There you go.
There you go.
Who's like his nefarious like sidekick.
Yeah. Was that Wednesday Addams in the wheelchair?
Jenna Ortega's not in this movie. No, I don't.
You
believe
sure?
So.
You sure that's not little Jenna Ortega?
I don't know.
The little girl, the vice president's daughter or granddaughter.
Oh, by the way, real quick, how about what a useless plotline that is?
Her.
The vice president.
That is her.
Wow, nailed it.
What a marvel!
What a marvel!
You go back in time sometimes, and you're like, oh wow, that's what's their name from early on in their career before they did anything. Like not a speaking role, just there for a second. Wednesday Addams.
Real quick. Good catch. But by the way, the vice president being a saboteur was as much of a nothing burger as I digested it as, right?
Like, it could have been a lot of burger, a Whataburger, if you will.
A lot of burger.
If they
classic lot of
if the president was indeed executed, but because he wasn't, I'm assuming did they find out? I don't know.
Yeah.
Dan?
A lot of burger.
Do
you have a Marvel?
I do have
A lot of
Of course I do.
burger.
What a Marvel.
What a Marvel.
We know it. We love it.
Yeah. So I
a
don't. This
burger?
might be answered. I just don't remember because we're about to enter a world where I saw these movies once and never. Like from Thor: The Dark World. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is pretty good. I didn't like Ant-Man as much as most people, but aside from Winter Soldier, actually, I love that movie. So we got 2 more coming
Amazing
up,
film.
but 2 out of the next 7 or 8 are movies that I kind of were like, woof. I think Marvel's maybe over. And then it comes back around, but he basically quits as Iron Man in this movie. Is there anything in Age of Ultron that gets him back in, or does he just show up like he's still Iron Man in that movie?
I'm going to guess. I mean, there has to be at least a throwaway scene of explaining how he
Because I don't remember there being one. And,
Right.
and I've only seen it once. It was in theaters and I hated it. So I very well could not remember it, but this movie pretty definitively goes, I'm only Iron Man in name only, and I don't have any thoughts or desires to continue doing it because that's not who I am anymore. Like if Iron Man was the cocoon per se that got me out of my old life and now I've burst forth into a new life that doesn't need it, amen, then there's got to be something that brings him back in. And I don't, for the life of me, don't remember what that is or what it, like how he gets drugged back into the character or the suit. Do you know?
Why we do the exercise.
Yeah, I'm excited to find out. That's why it's what a Marvel this is. You know what I mean?
Marvel.
We did, everybody. Congratulations to us. Next week is
Thor: The Dark World.
I believe it's Thor: The Dark World
Yes, it
with
is.
the greatest living actress, Natalie Portman.
When we posted that on the socials, which I knew was happening,
Good
it
clip.
reminded
Good
me,
clip.
It's a
and
good
I
clip.
just. And somebody said in the comments, Emma Stone didn't get a mention. Emma Stone should get a mention.
That was my buddy Andy.
Emma Stone, 100% a better actor.
Shout
than
out
Natalie
Andy.
Portman. This is crazy time. I just
All Andy. Shout
All
out.
right.
Shout out Andy.
Shout out Andy. Once again, everybody, please reach out to your local Tori Kelly and
Your
beg
local
them to
Tori
be
Kelly,
a part
of course,
of.
yes. Bran loved the terrorist in the movie. Ignore it.
Take the Tori Kelly part. Don't take
Don't take
Brand's
it. Leave
apology.
it. Leave it.
I just thought it was a well-edited package
The terrorist made.
that the terrorist made. All right, we'll be back next time with another one. First to wish you from Iron Man's Christmassy home to yours.
Merry Christmas. Deck the Hallmarks of Bramble Jam podcast produced by Brandon Gray. And yeah, that Greenville, South Carolina. For more information on the show, you can go to deckthehallmark.com or follow us on the socials at Deck the Hallmark. And please leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Don't call us fascist. And also find the best corner of the internet with ad-free podcasting, live video watch-alongs, movie chats, and so much more at BrambleJamPlus.com.